Welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling, and today we're going to talk about Raw, February 3rd, 2025. It is the Raw after the Royal Rumble, and this one was a pretty good Raw. I actually enjoyed it. The only problem was that I didn't like was that I thought it was just me, but apparently with a lot of people that Netflix, it was really glitchy, and it kept going in and out, and it just kept messing up and stuff like that. I thought it was just me, right? I thought it was just like my internet or something like that, but apparently it was a lot of people, so I don't feel as bad. Anyways, but let's go ahead and talk about Raw. So they started off with the men's Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso, and you know how like Jey Uso has like everyone just yeeting and everything else like that, but this time like they were in Cleveland, Ohio, and this yeet was just it felt different. It felt like it was just like more emotional or something like that, because I mean they were like just, the crowd was just hyped. The crowd was just up there like just yeeting and singing the songs like really loud and everything else, and you know you can just see the emotion in Jay's eyes as he leads with the crowd and everything else, and it's like, I mean they went on for like a good 5-10 minutes, right? And then, I have to say kudos to Michael Cole for actually kind of getting the daps right. He's trying. He got a little bit better. Still needs a little bit work, but I mean, it was a lot better than most times. But yeah, everybody was eating. Everyone was having a party, having a good time and all that other stuff. Jay finally gets into the ring and the music stopped, and, the crowd was talking about, "You deserve it," screaming like that and everything else. And then they're like, one more time. And then, Jay told the people on the back to play his music, and they played his music one more time, and there was like another 5 minutes where everybody was yeeting and everything else. It was just like, it was such a beautiful moment. I really just enjoyed just watching everybody just get all excited and everything else. It's like, yeah, he deserves it and everything else like that. He really does deserve to be the Royal Rumble winner. Anyways, finally the music stopped, and you can see the emotion in Jay. Like, he is definitely, Roman Reigns said that Jey Uso is the emotional one. You could totally tell that he is a very emotional one. Couldn't even like get the words out, right? And he's like, I don't even know what to say, right? And the crowd is like, yeet, and he's like, well, besides that, besides that, right? And he talks about how he was a tag team with his twin brother, and how he went to, how he become in the bloodline, and how he left the bloodline, and how scared he was to become like a singles competitor, and how he couldn't, he didn't think he would be able to do it, and how like the fans helped him, and how grateful he are to the fans and everything else, and his family and all this other stuff. And like, he didn't think he got it. He didn't think he had it until he won the Rumble, and he's like, nah, I got it. I got it and everything else. And I mean, it was just, you see tears in his eyes. It was just this promo was like from the heart. It wasn't scripted. At least it didn't seem scripted, because if it was scripted, man, that's a good acting right there. But it seems like it was just from the heart. Like, I was like getting teary-eyed. I was like, oh my god, like, I'm not about to cry right now. I'm not about to cry right now. This is not happening right now. It was just such a good moment and everything else. But of course, like all good moments in WWE have to be ruined. So here comes Gunther. Gunther comes over, and he comes out, and he basically was like saying that he's disappointed that Jay won, because beating Jay again doesn't do anything for his like reputation, or doesn't do anything for his resume. So, like, if I beat like a John Cena or Roman Reigns or CM Punk or Seth Rollins, that's cool. I already beat you so many times. I don't want to do it anymore. He's like, don't choose me. You got other options. Choose those other options. So if you do choose me, I'm going to make your life a living hell up into WrestleMania. And then when I get to WrestleMania, I'm just going to beat the living crap out of you and stuff like that. So don't choose me, right? And then he's about to leave the ring, and Jay's like, yo, come back here. I got something to say. I'm not done with you. And he's like, look, I'm gonna go to SmackDown and I'm gonna go holler at Cody, and then I'm gonna make my decision. But the thing is, I'm gonna go into WrestleMania as the 2025 Royal Rumble winner, and I'm leaving as champ. Yeet. And that was it. So yeah, so he's probably gonna go to Cody Rhodes and go talk to Cody Rhodes, and I'm pretty sure Cody Rhodes is gonna be like, yeah, you can choose me, because Cody Rhodes is that guy that's gonna be like, yeah, I will fight you, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And so, but I think at the end, like I said in my video yesterday, that he's probably gonna pick Gunther. It's gonna be like the Cinderella story, as everyone wants to call it, and everything else, and he'll do that. He'll pick Gunther. He'll win. You know that he'll win. He'll beat Gunther and everything else. That's what I think. But we'll see what happens on SmackDown. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on. So we had the first match, which was with Penta versus Ludwig Kaiser. I think the reason why we had this match because Penta eliminated Ludwig Kaiser like really quick. Ludwig Kaiser on the Royal Rumble got eliminated like really fast, and I think it was like Penta. So they had this match, and eventually Penta ends up winning the match because now he's 3-0 and on Raw, and I think Jackie Redmond comes out and was about to interview him, talking about, you've been doing great on Raw and everything else. And then you hear Pete Dunne's music, and he comes out, and then here comes Penta's looking at Pete Dunne, and then Ludwig Kaiser pretty much packs him up from behind and everything else, and they walk away and everything like that. I don't know exactly what's going on with the alliance between Kaiser and Dunne, but I like it, and I don't know what this means for Penta, but I'm interested to see what happens. Maybe he gets a tag partner and they go after somebody else. I don't know who the tag partner would be, but we shall see. So then there was a segment backstage with the Judgment Day where Finn Balor comes and basically berates Dominic Mysterio, basically saying that not only did Dominic say that he took his opportunity for the tag team titles, but he also blamed Dominic for basically JD getting injured, because JD got injured on that last week really badly. I mean, the match was amazing. It was a good ass match, but he got injured so badly, and so he's out. So Finn blames Dominic for that, and then Liv Morgan basically was like, well, it wasn't really Dominic's fault. He had to do it, otherwise Adam Pearce was gonna give the titles to the title shot to another tag team and everything else like that, and talking about how she has a qualifying match against Io Sky for the Elimination Chamber, and that they're gonna bring some gold, and also that they have like opportunity for tag team titles against the Bianca Belair and Naomi as well. So Finn's like, okay, sure, whatever, and they pretty much end like that. They leave, and and that's pretty much how it left out. So I don't know. I don't know how long Judgment Day is gonna last, or at least how long Finn's gonna be in that Judgment Day. But I think he should just leave. I don't know how that's gonna work, and I don't know. And Carlito is absolutely doing nothing. So it's like, why? I don't know. But anyways, let's move on. So the next statement was the Charlotte Flair comes out and basically comes out to the ring, and she is getting booed. Rightfully so, I think. She's getting booed. She's over here trying to talk about like some real serious stuff, talking about her injury and talk about how she didn't think she's gonna come back. No one's trying to hear this. No one cares. No one gives a damn, because they're just booing her every time. I was like, it's weird that they try to make her into a baby face. I'm like, stop making her into a baby face, right? Like, here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. I don't think Charlotte Flair should have won the Rumble. Charlotte Flair could have won the Elimination Chamber, and maybe people wouldn't have cared as much. But I don't think she should have won the Rumble. And apparently I'm not the only one, because people in Cleveland thought the same thing because they were booing her. I mean, she was trying to be like babyface. She's trying to be like, oh, I come from this injury and I came back as, and I won and everything else. And I was like, oh, oh my god, this is one of those fucking, what do you call it? Like a happy moment, happy ending moment, stories or endings moment or something like that. I don't know. But the audience wasn't trying to hear it, and she basically is like, whether you boo me or woo me, I still love you guys and everything else and all this other stuff. And it's like, yeah, no one cares, Charlotte. No one cares. Like, no one cares, Charlotte. So eventually, Rhea Ripley comes out, and everybody, lose their mind. They start cheering, and she gets a real huge pop and everything else. And, she's like, Rhea Ripley's like, I hope you choose me, because last time I beat you and we had a really good match and everything else. And then Charlotte's like, yeah, you did beat me last time, but I beat you the first time on, when I took your NXT title and everything else. And Rhea's like, yeah, but I was just a kid then. And then Charlotte was like, well, you jumped the gun, right? Because I don't even know I'm going to choose you. I'm going to go to NXT and go talk to Julia. Then I'm going to go to SmackDown and talk to Tiffany. So you're jumping the gun. So you're still a kid, right? And at this time, before this, Rhea Ripley was telling Charlotte Flair how she respected her and everything else, and that when you go to battle with somebody, you start respecting them more and more, and he wanted to go to battle with her. But basically, after Charlotte Flair called her a kid again, and Rhea Ripley's like, well, see, I respect you, but obviously you don't respect me, so please choose me so that I can beat some respect in you, right, and everything else. And that's pretty much how it ended, I think. I don't remember, but yeah, it's weird how like they have Charlotte Flair as like a babyface. I'm just like, and I was telling Tim like during our prediction shows, like, I hope she don't come back as a babyface, because it ain't gonna work, right? Especially if you're going to have her win the Rumble, don't have her come as a babyface. You know what I'm saying? Have her come as a fucking heel. I mean, eventually she kind of healed it up a little bit towards the end, but it was kind of like, I don't know. But like I said, I will talk more about Charlotte and the Rumble on Thursday. But yeah, I don't think she should have won. Anyways, let's move on. So we have the New Day coming out they had a tag team match against Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, and the New Day has new theme music. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know. I'm trying to get used to it, but they have some new theme music. Their gear, man, the gear is on fire though. I love the graphics and I love their gear and everything else. I think Kofi's gear was Mega Man, I believe. It looked like Mega Man. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. But then they come out, and then they had a commercial. When they came back from like the ads commercial, something like that, you see Rhea Ripley walking backstage, and Io Sky is there, and she comes up to her and she's like, maybe I'll see you at WrestleMania, because like I said, she had a qualifying match with Liv Morgan. And Rhea shook her head and smiles, right? And then she walks away, and then here comes Liv Morgan pretty much jumping Io and beating the crap out of Io. And then, Rhea comes in for the save, right? And then Raquel beats up Rhea, and then they both like walk away laughing and stuff like that. So there was a little bit of segment, and then they went back to the ring to have like the match between New Day and Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Eventually in the match, New Day ends up winning because Logan Paul comes out, and he's basically like watching the match because he has a qualifying match, I think next week, against Rey Mysterio. So eventually it had a moment to where it's like the Kofi Kingston was I don't know if it was Kofi or Xavier Woods, but one of them was distracting the ref, which ended up having Logan Paul slam Rey Mysterio onto the ground and put him back into the ring, and then Kofi Kingston put him in Trouble in Paradise, and it got up the pin, got the win. So they finally actually won a match. So kudos on New Day finally winning an actual fucking match. Obviously with help of with Logan Paul and everything else. Now I don't know. Logan Paul will probably win the qualifying match again in the fucking chamber, because I don't think John Cena is going to win. I think Logan Paul is going to eliminate John Cena, and we're going to get a Logan Paul versus John Cena at WrestleMania. So I'm thinking. I think that's where they're going. Not sure. I don't know if I wanted that or not, but sure. Whatever. So yeah. Anyways, congratulations to the New Day finally winning a match. Moving on to the next segment. So we had the first chamber qualifying match with Io versus Liv Morgan, and Io was pretty badly injured and stuff like that. She was like playing off the shoulder injury and stuff like that, because after being jumped by Liv Morgan. So this one actually was a really good match. I think this match was a lot better than the one they had on Saturday Night's Main Event. It was really freaking good and everything. A lot of close calls and everything else. A lot of distractions by Raquel and all this other stuff. Eventually, they try to. Eventually, Rhea Ripley comes out and pretty much attacks Raquel and everything else like that. And when she was attacking Raquel, Liv Morgan started pulling on Rhea Ripley's hair, and Rhea Ripley turned around and punched Liv Morgan in the face with the view was unfortunately the ref saw it and ended up disqualifying Io Sky, and Liv Morgan got the win, so she's in the chamber and Io's not, and Io was really mad and she was really upset about that and everything else, and Rhea was trying to explain to her what was happening and stuff like that. Io wasn't trying to hear it, she was like, I don't want to hear it, leave me alone and stuff like that, and she walked away mad, and she was just like, I can't believe, whatever, right? When I first saw this, I was like, why would they give it to Liv? By the way, I'd like to add, they had the ratings for the WWE 2K25, and they had the ratings, and the Liv rating is 91 or 90, something like that. I'm like, that is way too high, dude. That's she's an 85 or 86 at best, and then they have Io at 89. I'm like, no. I'm like, who does these ratings? Who's doing this stuff? But anyways, I was really upset that Io didn't win, because I feel like Io should be in this elimination chamber. I feel like Io versus Rhea should happen, right? Because more likely Charlotte Flair is gonna pick Tiffany, right? And they've been teasing the Io versus Rhea for a while, so I'm just like, okay, I don't know why they did that and everything else. And then I was watching a streamer, JD from New York, and he was basically saying that maybe they will let Io in, because maybe they'll have a last minute qualifying match and she'll get in that way. Because I'm just like, I cannot imagine Io not being in this freaking chamber. It's like, what? Why give it to Liv? She already been champion. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. And it's like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. But hopefully Io can somehow get in the elimination chamber match, because I feel like she should win. I think she should go with Rhea and everything else. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's just, I'll be honest with you, when I first saw it, I'm like, god dang. And I was a little bit upset. I was pissed. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Why y'all treat Io this way? This is not even right. I'm like, that girl deserves to be in the fucking WrestleMania main event. I don't give a shit what anybody fucking says. But anyway, let's move on. Also, AJ Styles is now a new member on the Raw roster, so it'll be interesting to see where things go from there. I would love to see an interaction with Punk and AJ Styles at one point in time. I want to see that eventually. I think that would be pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, congratulations to AJ Styles for being on Raw now. So, which is good. I think it's gonna be I think it's a good idea that he's on, because he wasn't really doing much on SmackDown. So we have the next segment. We have Seth Rollins come out, and I was like, he came out wearing this weird outfit, and I'm just like, who does he remind me of? And everyone was like, Jeepers Creepers, and I'm like, yes, that's it. I couldn't think of it. I was like, what is he dressed as? I'm like, and I go online and I'm like watching people stream, and he goes come out like Jeepers Creepers. I'm like, oh my god, yes, that's it. Oh, that is it. That is some Jeepers Creepers right there. I'm just like, oh my god, it's like, what the fuck, Seth? Anyways, he comes out, and I thought maybe he was gonna come out like heelish. I don't know if it was babyface. I don't know if it's heelish. I think it's somewhere in the middle. And he basically starts talking about how he wanted to congratulate Jey Uso for winning, and he said that he deserved it. And then he wanted to talk about how, you know, CM Punk didn't win and how he's happy about that, and how, like, you know, Roman Reigns didn't win, and he don't know when he's gonna come back from injury, because they said that Roman Reigns was out for the foreseeable future. They didn't really give like any details, because Roman Reigns didn't let them give him any details, but he talks Seth Rollins goes, he's out because of me, like, I'm really proud of it and everything else, and I'm really happy that I stomped him over here and I stomped him over there and all this other stuff. And he talks about this, basically talking shit about Punk and talking shit about Roman. And then he calls out Sami Zayn, and he told Sami Zayn to come out. So Sami Zayn comes out, and he basically is like gaslighting, also like, you know, hyping Sami up, like, oh, you know, you could beat him. You're a good person. Oh, only good people deserve good things, and everything else, trying to hype Sami up. Sami Zayn ain't saying a word. Like, he's just standing there, just listening, like, okay, sure, yeah, okay, you know. And he's basically like talking about, oh, CM Punk's a bad person, and CM Punk's not you, and you're a good person, and you deserve good things, and everything else, la 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 la. This gaslighting the shit out of fucking Sami Zayn, right? You know, also hyping him up, like, oh, you can beat him and everything else like that. You got this. I want to see you in the Elimination Chamber. And he talks about how he has a qualifying match in a couple of weeks against Finn Balor, which more likely Seth Rollins will beat Finn Balor and everything else. So Sami Zayn had a qualifying match. This was the main event match with CM Punk. This was the main event match. After Seth Rollins is done, they played his music. He's leaving the ring, and all of a sudden they start playing CM Punk's music, right? And you know, then Seth Rollins took off his Jeepers Creepers jacket and hat and everything else. Here comes CM Punk, and they're about to go at it, right? And the officials came in real quick, right? The officials came in real quick, and they pretty much separated Rollins and Punk. So I'm just like, oh man, this is cool. I'm like, is this a WrestleMania match happening in the making or something like that? I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing it. But they had, eventually, Rollins went back, and CM Punk continued to the ring. They had a really good match. This was actually the first time, I did not know this, but this was actually the first time that CM Punk and Sami Zayn actually had a match against each other. Punk kept telling Sami Zayn that, you're not on my level. You can't do what I do. You're not on my level. So you're just wasting your time. I'm wasting my time and stuff like that. Eventually, it was a really good match. A lot of close calls and everything else. I really enjoyed the match. This right here, towards the end of this, toward the end of the night, the fucking Netflix was so glitchy. Kept going in and out, especially towards the way end of the match. It was just terrible. It was so fucking bad, man. If you blinked, you might have missed something. Hopefully they fixed it. But when you watched it, if you haven't watched it live and you watch it again, hopefully they fixed that part. But anyways, Eventually, you know, CM Punk wins by getting the GTS. Sami Zayn did about to do her Lua kick, and you know, CM Punk caught him, got him, put him in the GTS, and then got the pin. So CM Punk will be in the Elimination Chamber. So right now you have John Cena and CM Punk both in the Elimination Chamber. So after the match, CM Punk was about to leave, and he turns around and he goes and wants to give, you know, some respect to Sami Zayn, and shakes his hand. And Sami Zayn, you know, being a guy he is, being a good guy that he is, he shakes his hand and everything else. And that's when Kevin Owens comes and attacks Sami Zayn from the back. Now why did Kevin Owens attack Sami Zayn from the back? I'll talk a little bit more about this on Thursday, but basically when Sami Zayn had came out, when they had the Rumble, Sami Zayn had came out during a time of the Rumble where both Cody and Kevin were both injured and stuff like that, and basically Sami Zayn didn't do anything. He didn't try to stop Cody, he didn't try to stop Kevin, he just stood there, you know, checked on both of his friends and didn't really do anything. And I'm pretty sure that is why Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn from the back. And then he put Sami Zayn in a package pile driver and folded Sami up like a folding chair, and that was pretty much how Raw ended. You could totally tell Kevin Owens was selling the injuries from Saturday and everything else. He had a black eye, got a gash and everything else. It was just crazy. I was like after the match was over with Punk, and I was like, what is Sami doing at next? And then Kevin comes out, I'm like, oh, that's what he's doing next. And like I said, I got this idea from JD from New York, and he basically said that they're probably going to have a match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber because it is in Toronto and they're both from Canada. And I was just like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm like, yeah, I can see that happening. So I can see them having a match. And then Kicking It with Ross was like saying that I could see how Randy Orton could be part of that too. So I'm just like, yeah, I agree with you two guys. I think that could happen. I think that because Sami Zayn needs a win, right? If you have a win over Kevin Owens, that would be cool. And I can see, and I've always said that, you know, I could see Kevin versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania at one point or other. But I don't know what I don't know what Cody Rhodes do. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk. I really wouldn't. But we'll see. Anyways, that was a very good Raw. The last part, I mean, it was kind of glitchy. It was kind of like messing up and everything else like that. But other than that, it was a good Raw and I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing what SmackDown brings and everything else. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.